there's a Ted Williams article that I read. It's really good. And Ted Williams, if you don't know him, is the historic baseball player who hit 400, a batting average of 440% hits in a season. And they talked to him about, I don't think it's ever been done before, by the way. It might have been done by somebody, but not to my knowledge. So this is really applicable. I really like this for trading, though. So it's he broke down that strike zone to, I forget how many. It was like 50 zones or 60 zones or something. And there's only like 4 or 5 where he could potentially hit 400 by swinging in those zones. And the rest of them, if he swung at a lot of the other ones, it would put his average down to about 230, which pretty much gets you kicked out of baseball. If you're hitting 230, that's generally speaking not good enough. So I was thinking about my trading, and I drew. Sometimes I can get impulsive and do stuff that there's so many things going on. You join groups, you get ideas, you talk to friends, and there's so many things you could be doing. So many things other people are saying that they're doing, and you have to really remember what's your core competency, or at least what do you want it to be. If you don't have it, then you're still searching for it and you're working at trying that out. And that's the different place to be. But when you start to get a few things that work, and the longer you stay alive, the more things you'll have that work. But for me, there's maybe, let me get my sheet out here. I wrote down 3 or 4 things that work pretty consistently for me. And they are some stupid news, which could be during the day, or it could be a position trade. It doesn't matter. It could be all different time frames, but some kind of a stupid news play where we're going down on something that's not that important. It could be, if I'm bullish on the futures, it could be some Ukraine headline that doesn't matter that much, that's kind of been rehashed, that provides me a really good entry and gets everybody shaken out under some technical levels, and then we rally back. It could be, I remember when I was into sports cards last year during the pandemic, Collectors Universe, CLCT, was doing really well because it was the grading company, PSA grading company for all the trading cards, and they were just booming sales on eBay. But there was a card cutting fiasco, and everyone in the hobby knows about card cutting. It happens once in a while, but it's fairly prevalent, but it doesn't really affect the amount of cards that are moving around. And when that article came out in Seeking Alpha, they took the stock way down, and that was a really good stupid news play because I was involved in seeing the sales and seeing what's going on, and I know collectors, and that's not a concern. So I knew that was stupid news, and it works even better when it's against the direction of the prevailing trend. So that's one thing I use a lot. Headlines, surprise headlines when I'm there during the day can be good. I have Squawk services for that. In play levels. So an idea on that would be, like, I've been looking at unleaded gasoline a little bit recently because it's been something I normally never trade, but since it's been so busy, it came down near the 50-day moving average, and it just kind of sat there, and I felt like during the day there's a really good chance that at the first test of that, or the first test near that, we were going to have some kind of a rally. So I got in kind of near that level, which I don't necessarily buy near a 50-day moving average. It just depends on the thinking and the logic around it. But my thinking was that when something's really strong, the first time down, it usually always provides some sort of a rally. So I end up buying it down there, and I got, a trade during the day out of it. So my point there is that's the third thing, is psychological trading around big levels, like the first test of a major area. I like to look at short-term trades because there's often multiple time frame players moving around in there, and there's something you can do. The other thing is an event day. So that could be a Fed day or a post-earnings day for a stock. I tend to do well trading on those days. It's more emotional and kind of like a little bit of a positioning game. So I do well with those 4 things. And then outside of those 4 things, there's other things that I'm learning that I'm not quite as good at, but I want to be better at. So that's earnings trades, looking at earnings winners and getting in either pre-market or post-market around the open, which I do a little bit. Post-earnings swing trades, I really like the numbers on something. I like the trend, and 3, 4, 5 days later, it gets quiet, it comes down, the bars narrow out, and I get a nice secondary trade. It could be a day trade, it could be a swing trade, maybe even a position trade. So there's that. And then when the breath bottoms out, I often buy a basket of futures or stocks. That's another strategy I use. All these strategies too have lots of like nuances and work and timing and practice to do them, but I'm just giving you a list of things. And then when a market really crashes, like crypto or stocks, when they go down like 50% or 30% quickly, there's some predictable trades that often happen in the days after, kind of big emotional moves, and I do well trading that. So that's the first 4 I gave you are kind of my core strike zone, and the second ones are my secondary strike zone. Everything else is shit for the most part for me. It's stuff that it just gets me in a bad place. I might do well on it, but I also lose. And overall, it's just not good for me. I'm going to list off a few of those. Looking at new strategies on chat boards or talking what other people are doing and trying to do some of it myself. Let's see here. Chart only plays when I'm just trading a chart. I don't like to do that. I know some people do. It doesn't work for me. Getting involved in macro thinking or macro themes doesn't work well. Thinking about thematic, big picture stuff doesn't work as well for me. Trading into size, that can mean sometimes I'm trading. Often the market likes to take out the size, big size in the book. And when you're in the short-term world, oftentimes I like to trade into that, but sometimes I get obsessed with doing that and it will happen hours later and I'll get all caught up in the short term. It's just not a good strategy. It's penny, it's what do they call it? Penny dollar foolish and penny wise or whatever. It's something to that extent. Selling put and call premium trades doesn't work well for me. I don't have that personality for that. Putting on options trades ahead of earnings doesn't work for me. I use a money manager for some of my money because I can't do every time frame myself. Sometimes I look at what he's doing and I'll trade those stocks more. Doesn't work for me. That's just a few of them. So I made a list of all of them. I don't want to focus so much on the ones that don't work for me, but here's another one that doesn't work for me. I'm spent most of my life trading futures. So when I see something, maybe I like the index and I'm correct on it, and then I go and do a bunch of stocks, and the stocks just don't really move with the index, and I get frustrated. I end up losing money in the stocks, and the index works out, and I cannibalize my trades, or I just flat out lose. That's very frustrating. So the rule is when it's busy, stay in the index because it's going to work in the index. When it slows down and it's more of a bull market, then you can go into individual stocks more. That's been a lesson I've learned over and over again. So my point here is that I wanted to bring this to your thinking about what are you good at, and where's your strike zone, and where's your trouble zone, and focus less on the trouble zone and more on the strike zone, but really honing in on those things and defining to a deep level those things that you're good at and working that way. I have aspirations to kind of break down a lot of these podcasts into posts on a website or something. I haven't done that yet. I just have to get the time and the energy to do it during the trading day. Maybe it's a good project when it's slower and I'm sitting here. And I don't know if people are interested in that, having things by text that are more broken down. And then there's the whole world of how do I do things? Like, how am I trading stupid news? How am I trading around levels? And a lot of times explaining and doing that is exhaustive because I'm doing it. And then having to explain it after is just a little bit much for me. So it's easier to observe when you're watching somebody. It's harder to, but I think I can communicate some of that stuff a little bit better. And that's kind of to help others learn if they want to do some of those things and it might fit into their strategy. So that's why I've been talking about a paid podcast and also now I just mentioned putting some things in text, and these are longer term goals for me. So I'm still planning on doing these things. It's just, I have to find the right technology platform to do it. And that's the update on that. So we'll see when I get to that. So I'm thinking about it though.